John Mark Dempsey with that report. On a related note, Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins, I hope I said her name right. She's an Aggie. And the governor, Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Brooke Rollins, or Ag Secretary, they will be meeting today, sometime after lunch, somewhere here in the Valley. They'll be talking about a new facility that is going to churn out some sterile flies so they can get busy with the flies that can have babies, and so that way prevent them from having maggot babies. So they'll talk about that sometime this afternoon. I hope I can get some audio. I'll try to stop by and say hello and get some audio from that feature tomorrow. This is the Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV. This hour of the program is a service of Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing.
The Drive More, Pay Less event at Toyota Far, and the savings are better than ever. Drive off in a Tacoma for just $95 a month, or a Tundra for only $295. That's more truck, more power, and more value for your money. Visit us today at 1625 West Interstate 2 in Far. Shop online at toyotafar.com or call 956-815-2285. That's 956-815-2285. Toyota Far, son buena gente.
In the Rio Grande Valley, 18-wheeler traffic is heavier than anywhere else in Texas. So if you're involved in an accident, know that big insurance companies will not play fair because they only care about profits, not your health, not the cost you have incurred, and certainly not your pain and suffering. So if you're involved in an 18-wheeler accident, we will stop insurance companies from taking advantage of you. 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
The J. Gonzalez Law Firm, a force for justice.
Don Huffines is a successful businessman who stands with President Trump to enforce our immigration laws and put Texas first. As a senator, Don Huffines exposed a multi-million-dollar government corruption scandal and sent 6 crooks to prison for stealing our tax dollars. As our comptroller, Don Huffines will bring a private sector mindset to government. He'll doge waste, fraud, and abuse, eliminate all taxpayer-funded benefits to illegal aliens, and abolish every woke DEI program in every government agency in Texas. Don Huffines is the only Trump Republican running for Texas comptroller. That's why he's endorsed by Senator Ted Cruz and every major conservative group in Texas, including Texas Right to Life and Gun Owners of America. Don Huffines, the Trump Republican for comptroller.
Political ad paid for by the Don Huffines campaign.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
At the J. Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH HQ. And apparently he is over his Super Bowl flu and back at HQ. Jesse Gonzalez, Jesus Gonzalez. So how was the big party last night? Super Bowl party. Jesse.
Serge, before we go on to the Super Bowl party, you talked about the screw worm invading Texas.
Yeah.
Couldn't they come up with a better name for that worm?
Well,
like of all the scientific names that you can come up with for a worm, you're going to call it the screw worm. Wow. Is it like a porno star or something? I mean, what is it?
Well,
what's going on? They couldn't be more creative?
I suppose.
Like, does it actually like screw like into the ground? Like, I don't get it.
It burrows into an open wound of of a calf of an animal, like if there's open flesh, a newborn that is exposed, it will burrow its way into the umbilical cord.
Okay.
And, yeah. So, and
All right.
and screw.
I'm like if I'm a science teacher and I've got students and I'm like, we got to come up with the name, and then I have an award, like let's give an award to like the name that we're going to give this worm, and then some kid says screw worm, and then that gets the prize.
Well,
that wins the competition.
There's
really
wow,
okay,
real
such creativity in the science community.
You ever heard of Dr. Michael Vickers? Every now and then he makes the news. It's been a while. Dr. Vickers is in Falfurrias. He'll be a guest on our program here in the near future.
Okay.
Late 70s, around the 70s, when he was just starting his practice. He has a veterinary practice.
Yeah.
In Falfurrias.
Okay.
So from the deer leases to the exotic acreage that's out there with exotic animals from Africa and all that, right?
Yeah.
Cattle. So he has all these clients. They're shaking in their boots. They're afraid that this sucker is going to come across the border and just devastate the herds. Wow. Here in South Texas. They're very concerned. So it's going to screw the industry if you look at it that way. So
okay.
Screw its
I
way into the open wounds and screw the industry as well. Okay, though. Let's back to the party last night. How was the party? What time did you finish last night?
About 2 a.m. No, like midnight.
Well, the game was over like by 9:30. So just party and dancing the rest of the night, or what? Everybody jump into the pool, or
Serge, when the game's over,
that's when it starts.
Whenever it's over, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. As soon as it happens, I've got Sonos in my house, and what I do is I go to Spotify. And have you ever been to Coco Bongos in Mexico?
No.
It's like this Las Vegas kind of show where they do like all these kind of shows, like Michael Jackson, and they like they do all these things,
so
right? Like
Vegas
yes. Good show actually. And so they have a playlist. There's a Coco Bongos Cancun playlist because I've been to that Coco Bongos. And so as soon as the game was over, I went to my Sonos, Spotify, Coco Bongos, Cancun, click, and it was like, you're at Coco Bongos, like the show began. So, my Super Bowl parties are not about the Super Bowl, it's about the party after the Super Bowl. And it was fun. It was great.
Shout out to anybody who was there. You want to mention anybody who was there?
All my friends were there. People that obviously that I know
almost
were
all
there.
your friends.
Yeah, the ones that could make it. Yeah. Incidentally, the teachers that I used to teach with at La Jolla ISD, a lot of them come, from the English department because I was an English teacher. They were there. So a shout out to La Jolla ISD, who always comes over to our Super Bowl party. Martha Leo wasn't there. I missed her. She was my department head.
I wonder if La Jolla has school today. We were talking about this off here. Schools are out because it's post Super Bowl. Because they say, what was the number I told Freddie this one? Like, oh man, I forgot the number. How many millions of people would be calling out sick the morning after the Super Bowl? So to prevent any little butts not being in the seats, which would affect funding, they just decided, okay, we're just not going to have school. I wonder if La Jolla schools has school today.
Which,
at school, though.
By the way, I predicted what happened last night. I said the defenses are going to be tough because they've been tough all, during the playoffs and during the year. The Seahawks should win by at least 4. Wouldn't be shocked if they won by double digits. I said this right before the game, actually, with Touchdown Dave, who was there at the party. And, sure enough, and then do you take the overs or the unders? I'm like, these are 2 good defenses. Of course, the unders. And it worked out. If you tuned in to my prediction and you listened to what I said, you would have, if you're a gambling person, you would have won a lot of money.
Why do they call him Touchdown Dave? Is that like the whole baseball euphemism where you get first base?
I don't think Touchdown Dave has ever scored 1 touchdown in his life.
Yeah. Or his date.
But that's what he calls it. So,
okay, Well, that's a new name. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
He's a good guy.
Okay, so halftime, the performance, Bad Bunny and all that.
Serge, that's a sore subject for me because I can't stand the guy. And then when he came out saying what he said about our country and our president. I didn't need more reasons to hate him, so then I hated him even more.
You know what's more powerful than hate?
Love. Love.
That's the new battle cry.
And you know, if he was talented, like vocally, I'd say, okay, he's got a great voice, but he's not exactly Michael Jackson, right? You know, Lady Gaga was nice. I enjoyed you know, watching her. Yeah. And there were guests in my house that wanted me to switch over to the other
TP USA
and
point.
And if I had 100% faith in technology, I would have done so. But you know, in my house, if you switch the channel, you may not be able to switch back because it's so it's not like back in the day where you pull the lever in the TV and the TV's on, and then when you change the channel, like you manually do it, and then you're where you need to be. You know, in my house, it's controlled by my phone, and then it's a software thing, and then there's all these moving parts, and everything has to work. So sometimes if you press a button, it's all gone. So I'm like, I'm not gonna touch anything. So sorry, guys. But I wanted to change the halftime show to the other halftime show, but I didn't do it.
Más o menos, how many folks did you have at the estate? The Jay Gonzalez estate last night?
I probably had about 75.
Ooh, that's quite a bit.
Friends.
Ooh, my goodness.
You know, the thing is, Serge, like the show that he did, I mean, it was the obvious. I mean, of course, America's a melting pot. Of course, we're comprised and composed of many different ethnicities and cultures and peoples from all over the world. That's what makes America great. The fact that he did that in the show is the obvious. The fact that this administration is getting rid of criminal, illegal aliens that are out there raping, killing, and breaking all sorts of laws that are endangering the lives of Americans has nothing to do with the fact that we are a nation of many different cultures. Nobody ever said in this administration, we want to get rid of the Chinese or the Hispanics or the Germans, or no one's ever said anything about let's just be one race. Let's be one master race. And you know what I'm talking about, because sometimes they allude to this administration as being the Gestapo and the Nazis and all that. No one's ever said that. You know, we just want a country that abides by our laws. We want our citizens to be safe. Period. And then that gets twisted into something that's not, because 95% of what you hear out there from the mainstream media is all propaganda. It's not even news. It's all twisted. And feeble-minded people that can't think for themselves will buy into the propaganda and then do what this clown did. Say, oh, look at what we are. Yes, that's who we are. No one's saying that we're not that. And it's offensive to me because no one's trying to take that away from this country. I'm Hispanic. I can say that. What are your thoughts?
I hope and pray. I went long in my commentary this morning about that. On the music side and the artistic side and all that, I think he is, unfortunately, the wrong ambassador for Hispanic, Latino, Spanish. He can't even speak Spanish.
He's a
he
clown.
Can't even speak. Blah, 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 blah.
He's a clown.
The real talent showed up. Lady Gaga was singing.
Yes.
And then Ricky Martin shows up. And I can understand what he was saying as well. On the whole, I would hope and pray that generally the American people, who seem to be holding firm in all the polling data, they're good. Even it might be a slight majority, but they're still good. We need to get fined. We need to allow ICE to do their job. Find the criminal aliens, wrap them up, kick them out.
Sure.
And, you know, as the president said, we could use a gentler touch. He said, oh, it's fine, find the gentler touch.
Yes.
But don't stop. And it's only the crazies in Minneapolis where they got operations in California, Florida, Texas, everywhere. And it's only that little small contingent of people getting in front of law enforcement and making the news. Jesse Gonzalez, we are at J. Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH. We're going to have we're going to clear the network news. This is KURV Edinburgh. It's 10:01. We'll do about 4 or 5 more minutes with Jesse and clear the network news for you, okay? We take care of business here. So I asked you how many people you had So did everybody go crazy, nuts, and cheer when they saw on Channel 23 NBC your commercial come on last night? Jesse.
You know, Serge, I'm glad that you brought that up. We ran the same commercial we ran last year. And it was a decision that I made because I just wasn't happy with the work product that was being proposed for the new commercial. And I gave them multiple chances to try to make good on it. But if it's going to have my name on it, it better be the top of the, the best of the best. And because I wasn't happy with what was being proposed, I'm like, I killed it. I killed the project. I'm so glad that I did, though, because the commercials that I saw this year were the lamest commercials I think I've ever seen in the last 30 years.
Like all of them, or the local stuff as well?
No. The local ones are always lame except for mine. Sorry, local advertisers that just heard this. It's true. It's true. But, I mean, they were just lame. All of them. Every single one of them. There were. You remember one? Was there one that stuck out that you thought, well, this was really, really cool? I can't.
I didn't see too many, but yeah, I'd have to think for a while.
If there was a year that I'm glad that I didn't have something new, this was the year.
Oh, I know. And the only reason, Lady Gaga was part of the Pokemon commercial.
Okay.
That's it. That's the only one I remember.
All right.
I remember Pokemon. I don't play it. I don't have it. I don't buy it. I don't subscribe to it, or my kids don't have it. But anyway, that's the only one I remember.
Yeah.
Have you, like, looking back at it, have you thought, well, maybe we should have done this movie theme or that? Considering how crazy people are for this Benito guy.
Yeah.
Ocasio, by the way, is his last name, was Ocasio-Cortez, which explains a lot. Maybe there's something wrong.
No kidding.
Something wrong in that genetic
She
pool.
probably is related.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. There's an Ocasio. Maybe you should have put like a white suit on, like this guy, like that Bad Bunny, right? Put some bunny ears on just to make fun of it. Jesse Gonzalez, attorney, like just muddled your way through it.
I'm gonna tell you what it was gonna be. Okay, I'm gonna let you know. It was gonna be a take on Mad Max because we have a caravan, we have a convoy of Hummers, 13, 14 Hummers to be exact. I've got a motorcycle. So if you think of Mad Max, what do you see? You see a convoy. They're going somewhere.
Yeah.
They got to go get something. A good idea. And I thought, I have this convoy. I have this motor. And you also see motorcycles in Mad Max.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, in my industry, we've got to go save the day. We've got to go somewhere to save someone, to protect and defend and fight for someone. And insurance companies don't want us to get there. They don't want us to be the law firm that takes on these cases. They don't want us to be fighting against them. They rather have others that don't have the 25 years experience, the thousands of cases won, the millions of dollars paid. They want the less than lawyer to go after them. And I said, in Mad Max, you've got bad people preventing Mad Max and his crew from getting to where they want to get to, whatever that is, whatever they're trying to accomplish. I said, let's recreate that with my Hummers and my motorcycle, and let's go save the day, and let's be over the top with it, with bombs, explosions, and this and that, and we're going to go save the day, and no insurance company is going to stop us.
I like it.
And I told my team, I said, make it happen. Give me the script.
Yeah.
Give me the script. And when I saw the script, it was laughable. It was ridiculous. And I said, no. And then I said, let me give you the answers to the test. I need to see this. Go back, present it again. And they did. And I said, it's awful. It's god awful.
Answer me this.
But it would have been incredible, Serge. It would have been
I love
awesome.
it. Maybe next year, considering everything that would go into an ad like that, though, if you think about it, it might be less expensive if you just do AI, ask AI to generate it for you.
Well, right? Here's the thing. They did want to introduce AI. And the thing about AI, Serge, is that because it's a thing now, and people know it's a thing, and you can see it, and you can pick it up, then the real art form is how can you incorporate it without it basically dominating what you're doing, because then it kills the authenticity of it. So it needed to be organic, it needed to be real. Yes, sprinkle in some AI in there, but not so that it dominates the commercial. And it was striking that balance, or not striking that balance. No, forget about it.
You know, we got a year to work on it, and I love the theme. Obviously, you would be Mad Max, probably driving like one of those black, beat up Chargers that are all souped up with your leather jacket and all your dirty face, you know, your hair blowing in the wind as you're running 70 miles an hour from the convoy that's chasing you with an 18-wheeler fuel truck. What I want to know, who in the office is going to play, you know, that guy with a hockey mask and all buffed up with like the X strap on him? He wasn't wearing a shirt. He was just like leather strap.
Yeah.
And had like a hockey mask and feathers on him.
Sure.
And had a guy his pet, some guy on a dog leash.
Yeah.
Like, who are those two? Who's the guy with a hockey mask and the dog leash pet?
Serge, let me tell you something. The last, is it the last Mad Max? It was either the last one or the one before, where they're going on this convoy and there's a guy playing the drums in front of the 18-wheeler. And I'm like, okay, are the drums really necessary? But okay.
Need a lot of people for that.
And then just when it got really ridiculous and you think it could get more ridiculous, there's a guy with an electric guitar swinging, you know, back and forth.
Yeah.
And so I told my crew, I said, I want the guy playing the drums and I need a guy doing the electric guitar. I mean, I need those elements in this commercial, and it's got to be over the top. And they couldn't do the drums and the guitarist.
It's Mad Max running from the convoy trying to kill him. Okay, here it is. It's real simple. The 18-wheeler that's full of fuel behind him, have it flip over, explode, and then Mad Max, you turn around and start taking a report to file an injury claim for the 18-wheeler that just crashed behind you. It's that simple, you know?
There is so much ridiculousness in some of these movies, but it makes you think, like back in the day when armies were going to go up against other armies, and then you see the guy with the drums, and then you see the guy carrying the flags, and you're like, dude, you're going to get killed. You're going to get killed. Like, is that really necessary?
Grab the guy with the drum, he's setting the tempo.
Grab a gun and shoot and defend yourself. Right. No, let me play the drums.
Tell me what's going on with the office here. I got about a minute. What's going on with it?
Well, you know, we win cases every day. We got offices across the valley: Rio Grande, McAllen, Edinburgh, West Local, Harlingen, Brownsville. If you AI best personal injury lawyer in the Valley or personal injury in the Valley, AI, who does all the research for you in seconds, will show that the J. Gonzalez law firm is there where it needs to be. So whether you Google us, whether you AI us, whether you call us, I mean, I'll give you my personal cell number, 956-960-5725. The only thing I ask is that you use WhatsApp, because if you call or text and I'm busy like right now, you'll get an automatic message from my personal cell phone number letting you know that, yes, you've reached the right person. And then when I'm free, I will personally then follow up with you. So we're real good about answering your calls. We're real good about returning your calls. We don't just produce the best results. We give you the best service while giving you the best results. So we're available 24/7.
Right.
J. Gonzalez Law Firm.
Happy Monday. Have a great week. Jesse Gonzalez, J. Gonzalez Injury Attorneys. This is Newstone 710 KURV, the Sergio Show. Time is 10:10. I want to say thank you also to our sponsors this 10 o'clock hour. Thank you to South Texas Buick GMC and Lone Star National Bank.
Hey, Martha. Miss.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best.